Gobi, for which the county will bear a significant share. If we had Talmadge Road, we'd bear the share of those intersection improvements as well. So maybe the routine maintenance would be covered by the additional gas tax we get for 2 miles. Larger projects, admittedly too, though the bridge is probably the biggest larger project, but Supervisor Pinch is correct. You know, who's to say in 100 years the bridge won't need replaced again? So, you know, I am rather neutral, as you can see. I want to hear the state's position. The state has a need to relinquish this because it doesn't fit in their system. They believe it rightfully should be in the counties. We could do that, but I don't see an overwhelming thing other than a good working relationship. You know, maybe there's some possibilities for relationship opportunities with the state that would make this more palatable to the board. I don't know. Maybe those could be explored.
Well, it's sort of what I was looking for, but I don't think it's just a small issue to talk about this working relationship. I mean, obviously we work with Caltrans on projects throughout the entire county, and so I think that's important, and I'm sort of looking at the regional perspectives and the new blueprinting processes going forward that I believe Lake County has gotten funds towards and we're working on as well, and that's going to be the new roadmap, if you will, for future transportation planning, and that is very much about partnerships, because you're talking about transportation networks and regionalism, not just your county roads within your borders. So I mean, I want to look at all sides of this, but I don't want to just sort of cast aside as a small issue that we do have a working relationship. And if it's more appropriate to put this into the county road system, then I think that we ought to seriously entertain that. And what is the quid pro quo? What is the proper way to deal with a relinquishment if that's the appropriate place to have this road placed is within our county structure. So, you know, I still want to look at all aspects of this. I don't want to just discard it. I know that we would get some additional funds to add the 2 miles to our network. And again, we'd be getting this brand new bridge, which obviously should have some longevity associated with it. So I just want to make sure that we're looking from a policy perspective and a partnership perspective, all the aspects of this.
True.
Thank you.
Supervisor Delbar and then Supervisor Pinches.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. DeShiel and Grace, I appreciate the relationship that we have with Caltrans and the Caltrans has with the County Department of Transportation. It's a critical one, and it's a strong one, and it's a good one, and that means a lot, I know, to us up here, I know to you, Howard. There's one more bridge on this road, too, that hasn't had any discussions, the bridge over Mill Creek. And that is a bottleneck right now when it comes down to flood time. Mill Creek runs heavily. That traps sediment, it traps water. It's a bottleneck in the system. That has to be addressed at some point, and that's been brought up. I brought it up with Caltrans as a district supervisor out there many times. And it's a matter of getting, Caltrans does a good job at cleaning the debris and the gravel and the aggregation underneath the bridge there, but there's other issues involved with the stretches going in and out of that bridge. There may be a time in the near future where taking this into our county road system is appropriate. I just don't think it's in this time. I think there may be some more discussion that has to occur at some point in the future. Maybe there's some other options we can look at. But at this point in time, given the issues that Supervisor Pinch has mentioned, it just would not be, I believe, in the county's best interest to take in more road into our county maintained road system that we can't maintain what we've got, despite the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 that today it takes to maintain that stretch. That doesn't take into account the next chip seal or repavement or all the other issues that will come along with time. We have road segments already in this county that really you jar your teeth just driving down. We've got to put our priorities in place. So I would recommend that this board respectfully decline the offer by Caltrans to take this stretch of road at this point in time, and we'll leave it up to the directorate at some point if that issue needs to come back to us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Pinches?
Yeah, I'd like to take this time to, first of all, compliment and show appreciation for the work that Caltrans has done in Mendocino County, especially since my term in the last 2 years, has been remarkable, and all the way from the Willis bypass to projects, in a working relationship on encroachments and whatnot that our road department has had with Caltrans. I'd like to throw a little food for thought out there. You know, maybe we could do a trade. We have a road in the north end of the county, the Bell Springs Road, which actually services 3 counties, Humboldt, Trinity, and Mendocino County. Maybe that's more of a regional road that, in my opinion, that should be a state highway, because it is the alternate route when 101 slides in, and 101 is slid in even with the twin bridges up there going in, and there's other areas of slide. So I think it's something that Caltrans ought to look at, because it's not just, it's actually 3 counties that road services. The west side of Trinity County services too. So I just want to throw that for food for thought out there. So, you know, if we can't make a deal, maybe we can make a trade.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Colfax.
Well, I have got to say that I think the county has pretty good relations with Caltrans. They've been responsive to a number of projects in my district. I don't have anything to make trades with at the moment. I guess if you gave me a few minutes, I could probably